Hi, this is the Ivy League astrologer with Gemini, with the March 2015 reading for Geminis. So the first card out for you guys is the Page of Pentacles. I feel like you are kind of gingerly moving into like a new future, or like a new relationship, new job, new offer of some kind that you hope will have like a long future. And I feel like you've kind of got one foot in. That's funny. I saw this Page of Pentacles in another reading, and so it kind of is echoing what I saw for that one. But I feel like it's like you have part of you is like moving forward into this new thing, and part of you is being led, like your gut is leading you back to like an old thing or an unfinished thing or something that's come unraveled. Something that's maybe hidden from view right now. But you feel like you still have one foot in that, even though you're trying to extract yourself from it. But I feel like your gut tells you you're not entirely done with that. And it's like you would like to kind of swoop in and rescue that situation and fix it. But maybe you don't feel like you have the strength. And I think you know that going back to this old situation or trying to make something new grow from that would take a lot of strength. And you kind of just want to move forward into this other future right now. You're like, oh, but this is so bright and pretty, and it looks like it could turn into something nice. So I feel like that's kind of what you're wanting right now, although I do think that there is a pull on you to go back to something, to some unfinished business. And I think that this unfinished business may resurface this month. You may be drawn back to it, even though you kind of wish it would die. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're getting like a little bit of like a switchums, you know? It's like you're like, hey, I'm going to push forward to my future over here. And then like life is drawing you back to be like, it's really over here. You're like, no, I want to. And it's like, no. So yeah, I feel like you're going to be drawn back to some kind of unfinished business and see a new potential in it. And maybe be given some kind of mercy by someone that you didn't maybe think you would receive it from, or just a kindness that makes you want more from that person, or makes you look up to them and maybe recall what you found to be so appealing about them before. Because I think that whatever it is that was drawing you in is something that is spiritual. Like it feels like it's like a past life connection, or like a soul bond, soul contract kind of thing that maybe you have unfinished business with, is what it feels like. And I think that you're going to see that this month, but not feel like you can reach it or activate it. But I think you're going to get a glimpse of it and kind of want more, but not be in a position to do anything about it, really. But yeah, I think you may receive an unexpected kindness from someone this month. It feels very sort of like motherly, very maternal, and just like beautiful and graceful. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. And I think it may make you look back over the past in a somewhat different way. Yeah, you may have some versions of the past that are at odds with each other within your own mind. that you're kind of contending with this month in order to figure out how to proceed. But I feel like the funny thing is that I feel like while you're kind of looking back over the past in this new way, and like the figures in the past of like you and this other person are kind of being lit up for you in a different way, where it seems to have a different significance, and you're like, oh. While that is happening, I feel like you're being swept along into this new future that you've got one foot in, that I was talking about at the beginning, that you've planned. It's like while you're kind of like looking back over the past with different eyes, this future, this new thing is moving along a pace. So I feel like you almost don't really have time to stop and think about it because you've already committed yourself elsewhere. But even while you're kind of enjoying this new thing or moving forward with it, your mind is still caught in the past a little bit, thinking about this other path. Yeah, this person may even be sort of like appearing to you in like a ghostly way or like an astral way. Like you can hear them in your head or something, or feel their presence. And if not that, I think they're just bothering your conscious in some way, or troubling your mental waters, or emotional waters in some way. It's funny because it's like you're letting your guard down about it. Maybe this has kind of been going on, that they've been popping up in your mind, but you've been blocking it and blocking it. And it seems like this month you're kind of more willing to let your guard down and let that kind of communication in. Whether it's like astral projection, which is kind of what I was talking about, or whether it's just thinking of someone. It seems like you're more receptive to whatever messages are trying to come through to you from this person. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think it's getting through somehow. Wow. And it's like you know that there's this other kind of world waiting to start, this other life waiting to start as soon as you let it, maybe? You kind of understand that this person has remained bound to you out of it's not only free will, but also out of like a respect for the will of the universe. This is an especially esoteric month, but hey. Yeah. And I feel like you kind of get on some level that you can bring this into the present whenever you want, or whenever you're ready, whenever you can like truly offer your heart. In a way that's sanctified somehow, in a way that is holy, pure, I think is the word I want, in a way that is pure. So it's like when you can offer your heart in a way that is pure, you can kind of activate this situation or this old situation that keeps kind of calling you back even though you're trying to move forward. I don't think you feel ready to do that right now, but I think you maybe get the understanding of what it might take, or the first inkling of what it might take. I think it's more like the seed is planted, And you have to kind of figure out what to do with it. I think you still want to move forward, but I see you kind of looking backwards more and more, maybe as the month progresses as well. Yeah, again, I get the sense of like there is forward motion on whatever new thing you've started. But it's like you're dragging your feet just a little bit because it feels like if you go all the way forward into that, it's going to topple this other thing, which you feel like you're not sure that you're ready for that to be completely finished, even though you have wanted that previously. Yeah, I feel like there's like almost like a recognition that there's something worth saving in a past situation, whatever situation that is for you, and that moving forward in the way that you have been trying to move forward is not going to quite get you to the home that you wanted. And maybe this is revealed to you like that, it's like if you're with a new person and you're excited about that person and you like them a lot and they like you and it's all good, but then you're realizing that like your goals are not really in line, or like that you may be ready to settle down and yeah, I think that's what this is, maybe. That you may be wanting to settle down more and like really start a family and be very seriously committed. And you may realize that this person is more into just sort of like partying or just like having fun or just hanging out, but that they're not really looking for like a solid home base. They're looking to kind of just go with the river where it goes, like just kind of flow with it. And so you may have to kind of contend with that knowledge that like this new start is not going to be everything that you need, and figure out if it's worth it to you. And it's like there's this other thing that you could go back to, but it feels like it's so turned upside down that you don't really know how to get it back. But I feel like mentally you may be sort of exploring options for how you could kind of go back to that old situation in a pointed way, but still kind of keep some markers in the present or in the future for like what you have been trying to work towards. It's like you still kind of want to play at the carnival. You still kind of want to have a good time with this person who you maybe have realized only wants to have a good time, but you may start thinking about how you can kind of move yourself forward in a more serious way with this other person while still kind of hanging on to the new person. You may also just be a little like emotionally exhausted from kind of this back and forth and just feel like, ugh, it's just too much going on. Like, and then I think, yeah, it may be kind of like a catch-22 where like as you start to think about maybe going backwards towards this old situation or old person, then it makes you think like, oh, well, but I really like this person that I'm with now, or this job that I have now, or whatever. And like, well, what if I want to go back to that? So I feel like you're going to be kind of in like a caught in between state where you're, yeah, trying to change, not sure how to change. Just caught in between. Hoisted by your own petard a little bit. Like I feel like you've kind of somehow gotten yourself into this fix and you're not quite sure how to get out. Yeah, I think there's kind of a decision to be made about how important like children are to you or something. Or like whether that's something that you can like. I feel like if you're with somebody who you like them a lot, but they don't want to have children, but you still really like them, I feel like you may be deciding whether it's enough for you to just have that person and call that a day and be satisfied with that, or if you need kind of like the whole thing, which is not going to be available to you through this person. So yeah, I feel like you may kind of spend some time thinking through that, how important that is to you and your future happiness this month. This could also be like if you, yeah, I think you may decide to just press ahead. Like this could also be like if you're deciding between, yeah, I feel like you may decide to like move forward even though it's not everything that you want, but like decide to just be happy with what it is, like make up your mind to do that and like stop kind of like looking around because it's just exhausting. But my sense is that you know, yeah, you may not be looking at everything that would really entail. Like you need to really spend some time thinking about where your real happiness is going to be found. And it's okay if you have to just kind of meander along to figure it out. But yeah, I see you kind of maybe prematurely kind of like jumping into something that you feel very fixed about. You feel like I've made this decision, so I'm going to stick by it. I'm just going to do this. But you may in the future realize that it's not everything it's cracked up to be, or that it's just going to suppress too much of what your real dreams are to be fully workable. So that's a little food for thought, I guess. But that's what I'm seeing for Gemini for March 2015. So I hope that's helpful. And please get in touch with me if you would like a personal reading. My information is below. You can email me at theivyleagueastrologer@gmail.com. Thank you. Thanks for watching.